Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Thank you so much for joining us live on SABC3. Now, for decades, the idea of self-love was always seen as being selfish. But for over the years, people have shifted from that notion and are now addressing toxic behaviors that have been passed down for decades. Author and filmmaker Hakeem is in the loft today to help us unpack the reasons why our generation needs to unlearn toxic behaviors and shed light on what self-love really means. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's a mouthful.
It is.
The work that you do, it's not easy work.
No, it isn't.
Deciphering the language of love,
yeah,
and appropriate behaviors,
yes, ma'am,
that we can call love.
Yes, ma'am.
It's deep work.
I think at the behest of it all, at like the bottom line of it all, is treating people like human beings and not crutches, not muses, not support systems, but like knowing and understanding that people become pillars in your life and they become lessons in your life, and respecting that and not abusing that. Because I feel like a lot of times we abuse that and we start leeching on people and their energies and the love they give and their giving natures, and we have no stop.
Yeah.
When we feed on their good graces, when we feed on their good love and their giving natures, we don't have a stop button and stopping and saying, actually, what am I giving? What am I giving to this person? How am I reciprocating this love? Is this well going to run dry? And how am I, what am I doing to basically make sure that this well never runs dry?
What leads a man like you down this path of this kind of deep discovery? Deciding to be the difference, because as much as we are good men in the world, how good are we as men if all of these bad things are happening? If all of there's femicide in South Africa, how is this happening? Rape cases have escalated. In the past 10 years, rape cases have escalated. How are we good men? And deciding to be the difference is the beginning, really. And deciding to be the difference, deciding to be the good you say you are, and enacting that and giving that and fully becoming that and inspiring that in other men is the basics you can be as a human being, as a human man in this world. It's the basics of what you can be. And this further, you have to go further than that by interrogating, your negatives and your toxicity and how you've broken people and how you've broken yourself as well, and start fixing that in yourself first before you become to anyone, anything. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you've written a book called 200 Truths About Love.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a brave feat because many of us feel like we're just not that great at this love thing. We just figure it out as we go along, right?
I believe everyone is good at love. It's just the brand of love that you're giving and receiving.
Wow, yeah.
Everyone is good at love. You're good at loving something somewhere in your life.
Yeah.
So if you know how to love something somewhere in your life and it's really good, replicate that in all spheres of your life.
Yeah.
Replicate that. Like, meet people who are of the same liking as you or of the same drive as you, and replicate that. Replicate the feeling, replicate the giving and the taking, reciprocating, and just become. Yeah. Without forcing it, because we love easily. We're taught to love from a very early age. Yeah. But somewhere we lose ourselves.
What are the hardest truths about love to swallow, especially in this book?
Interrogations. The interrogations, the wrongs that we do to people. The
issues like codependency. What is codependency?
It's basically, in the simplest terms I can put it, is basically when a man comes from an environment where he's raised by a woman and is basically surrounded by women in the family, leaves the homestead and gets into a relationship looking for qualities his mother had or his aunt had or his sisters had in this woman, and only validating your womanness or your love
when he recognizes
those qualities, but he leeches those qualities from you and rarely ever reciprocates. And from a woman is the most basic of it all, the most basic explanation I can give it is, feeling invalidated by, a man not needing her, a man not being in a position where he needs a woman. Where he wants to be with you. He chooses to be with you. He wants to be with you, but you want to be needed. And he doesn't do that. So you feel invalidated and you feel like, I'm not doing this love thing right. Yeah,
wow.
It's deep.
It's deep. It's deep. I'm just scanning my mind like,
and that's the most basic form. That's the most basic explanation I can give for codependency.
But that's one of the pillars of patriarchy, though. Yeah. The first love you described, of how men want to be loved, or how women describe what men describe a good woman.
To be mothered. Yeah. with the qualities his mother had, and if you lack any of those qualities, then you're not a good enough woman, and then ill behavior comes about, cheating comes about, you know, abuse comes about as well. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse comes about as well.
Wow.
Because of these basic misunderstandings of what it is to be a man and what it is to have a woman or a lover, you know, because a lot of times men get into relationships and treat their lovers as maids and as slaves and as servants, subservient to them. And women have this thing that they say by being a man, but no one explains what being a man is.
Yeah.
So men thumbsuck the ideologies, you know, of being a man. Like, what is it really when you say?
And women say that a lot. Be a man, man up.
Be a man, man up.
How have men
What does that
reacted
mean?
to your book and what the challenge that you're placing in front of them? Have some just completely rejected it, and have others completely embraced it?
You know, people who reject a truth, any truth, aren't really your target market and aren't really the people you should be focusing on. So I'm like, you can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. Your job is to make the water desirable enough for them to drink.
Sure, that's beautiful. Well, this looks like it's full of desirable water.
Yes, ma'am.
Thirst quenching water.
Yes, ma'am. Quenching water.
I can't wait to read it.
Confrontational water. I've been told the book breaks people, and I asked, what does it break you? What is it that it breaks inside of you? And they say, well, it makes me confront my bad self, and it makes me confront the good that I think I am, the shadow self, the one that's, you know, wakes up at 3 a.m. in the morning and I don't know why I'm up. It makes me confront that person, makes me confront that voice and say, okay, cool, this is what I've become, this is what I need to be, and becoming that as well.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm
so glad that you're the man who's written this book, but it's clear that you've done a lot of work, a lot of personal work.
I'm happy to. Yeah, there's still a lot more work to do, but, you know, I'm up for it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.